Hello everyone, and welcome to another masterclass, another amazing masterclass, of course, where we'll be learning a lot. This time, taking a deep dive into business analysis, taking a look at the section called SWOT analysis. So, in general, the big picture is that we are going to be taking a look at business analysis, but the aspect of business analysis that we will be focusing on today is the area called SWOT analysis. We're going to have an amazing time, of course, an amazing time because of everything we're going to be learning. That's just one of them. And another reason why we would be having an amazing time is because we're going to be having fun. Okay, that is something that we're going to do. We're going to have fun. When was the last time you had fun? Probably you can't even remember. So we're going to have fun today. And for that to be the case, for you to learn a lot, and when I say learn a lot, I mean learning about business analysis, learning about SWOT analysis, learning about the right career path for you to learn and for you to also have fun, there's something that is very, very important. There's something that you have to do and that I have to do as well. Okay, it's a two-way street. So there's something you have to do, and there's something I would also have to do to ensure that we what? To ensure that we have fun and that we learn. And what is that? We have to communicate. Okay, we have to communicate. And what is communication? Communication to me, this is my definition of communication. Probably, if you've been in any one of my sessions before, you are familiar with ISIS's definition of communication. My definition is not the definition you find in my Webster dictionary or in the Oxford dictionary or whatever dictionary you have. No, my definition of communication is a little bit more unique. And what do I say is communication? Communication is I speak, you speak, and we all speak. Okay, I'll take that once again. I speak, you speak, we all speak. That is communication. But of course, we cannot all speak in this section because we don't want to have a ruckus. We don't want to have a situation where probably I'm speaking, someone on mute, and there's noise in the background, all of those kind of things. We don't want that. So how then would you communicate? Because communication, again, is very important for you to get all of the goodies that this session has to offer. It's simple. It's by working with the chat box. Okay, so when I ask a question, I want you to send your response to the chat box, or when the facilitator will be taking us through what SWOT analysis is all about, I want you to send your response to the chat box. When you have a question, I want you to send your question to the chat box. When you want to give a feedback, I want you to send the feedback to the chat box. So the chat box is going to be the medium of communication for you and I. And that would ensure that we have an amazing time. So, just to test things out to know if we are ready to communicate. If you know that you're ready to go, if you know you're ready to have an amazing time, you're ready to learn everything that we're going to be learning in this session, and that you are ready to understand the right career path for you, I want you to send the number 1 to the chat box. Okay? If you know you're ready to go, I want you to send the number 1 to the chat box. Okay, so I'm getting responses already. Fantastic, fantastic. So I just got a 1 from Caleb. Great. So I got a 1 from Biola as well. I need more answers. Okay, I need more responses. Sorry. Like I said, it's all about communication. So everyone has to communicate. For you to benefit from the session, you have to do that. Thank you very much, Scholastica. Okay, that's a very amazing name if you ask me. Okay, thank you, Scholastica. Scholastica is ready to go. iPhone is ready to go as well. Fantastic. iPhone is that iPhone 20, iPhone 21, or maybe iPhone 22. Okay, iPhone is ready to go as well. What about you, Asabe? Are you ready to go? Femi, Cyril, Unamdi, are you ready to go? Victor, Victoria. Okay, Brenda is ready to go as well. Good to know we are all on the same page. Okay, absolutely fantastic. So we don't waste any more time. So we get into the business for the day because yeah, we are adults. We have other things that we need to get to. Okay, that's the truth. Tomorrow is also a work day. So let's learn what we need to learn. Let's have fun as much as we can so we can get back to our duties. Great. So we understand that what we are here to take a look at. We understand that's what we're here to do. It's leveraging SWOT analysis, not SOC analysis. Sorry, apologies. SOC analysis, that's in cybersecurity. SWOT, okay? The SWOT analysis. We're going to be saying how you can leverage SWOT analysis for business improvement, a guide for business analysts, and we'll take a look at real world examples. So at the end of the session, you could call yourself a business analyst and you would not be so far from the truth, okay? Because of course, you already have one of the skills, which is you having the knowledge of SWOT analysis and knowing how to apply SWOT analysis. But first and first, about analytics. What do we do, or who are we? What is analytics about? Or like I love to say, who is analytics? What is analytics? Where is analytics? When is analytics? How is analytics? So Analytics is an edtech firm, and what we do is that we make dreams come true. We are Santa Claus. I'm sure you know Santa Claus, okay? So we're Santa Claus, just the way Santa Claus gives presents to kids, making their dreams come true. So maybe a kid wants a game, or probably they want different kinds of gifts. Santa gives them those gifts, right? So that's his who we are. So we are Santa Claus, but we are Santa Claus for you. We help your dreams come true. And what do I mean by that? We help you transition into the tech space, because so many of us right now, we are currently doing things that are really not what we'd like to do. Okay, we want to get into that career path of our dreams, where we know that we can, we have good work-life balance, we have good work-life balance, we're earning well, we're able to get our wants equally as we can get our needs. So we help lower the tech barrier by helping, you transition. All right. And we've been able to help over 2,900 individuals transition from the classroom to getting their first job in tech. And what does that mean? That means they had no prior knowledge of tech. That means it's not like, okay, you know what? I had some knowledge, and then we help them transition. Adding those that had some knowledge that we helped transition, it's a whole lot more than 2,900. The reason why we are very much successful is that we know what works, and we know the market. We know how you can best position yourself to achieve your dreams. Again, we make dreams come true. We have programs ranging from data analytics to business analysis to data engineering to data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project management, stroke the Scrum Master program, cybersecurity, and of course AI engineering, which is coming soon. So just stay tuned. And of course, we have facilitators from the Fortune 500 companies. But moving on, today it's all about SWOT analysis. So who's going to be taking us through SWOT analysis? A fantastic professional, of course. I'm talking about Moses Joshua. So Moses Joshua is a senior agile project manager at Analytics, and he has diverse experience, a wealth of experience when it comes to agile project management and, of course, business analysis as well. So he has been able to lead cross-functional teams across different organizations, thereby cementing his knowledge and expanding his knowledge on everything it takes to lead businesses, because that is what business analysis is all about. You being able to manage and optimize the process of businesses, taking them from point A to point B where they want to be. Okay, so that is Moses, and Moses is going to be taking us through SWOT analysis today. And then, of course, myself, I'm Aisha Bolahon, as you can see from the name tag at the bottom left. All right, and I'm the lead in charge of training and operations at Analytics. So I have experience ranging from data analytics to business analysis, power platform engineering, and of course, predictive AI engineering as well. And I've been able to work across different organizations from the US to the UK to Singapore to Canada, and of course, Nigeria as well. And I've also been able to train over 2,500 participants across 4 continents. These are just some things about me, some boring things about me. More exciting things: I'm a very good chess player. Okay, so I play chess. I'm a very good football player as well. When I was still in the university, back in college, I won, I think I had 11 medals. 11 medals, okay, from football. It's not easy. It's not easy. 11 medals. And then I speak French as well. Okay, I speak French as well. Open to be fully conversational before the end of second quarter. But yeah, I speak French as well. Je parle le français. That's French with an accent. All right. But moving on. that's it about me. And the section today is going to be divided into different sections. The session is going to be divided into four different sections, where we, of course, we take a look at the SWOT analysis, and then we take a look at how you can get experience looking at the internship, and of course, how you can get into the realm of tech, and also and a special offer for you. These are the several things that we'll be taking a look at. And number one, the first thing on our list, of course, is SWOT analysis. And I believe Moses is ready to take us on that. Hello, Moses. Hello, Moses. How are you doing? Yeah, we can't hear you. Okay, still we can't hear you still. Do you want to check? Oh, so you could check Zoom. Check the mic on Zoom to ensure that you're selecting the mic on your headset. Okay, so while we wait on Moses for Moses to sort that out, okay, I think I'm going to tell you guys a story. Should I tell you guys a story while we wait on Moses? Who wants to listen to my story? I have a story for you. Do we want to listen? Or we're not interested? If you're not interested, I could just keep short while we wait for Moses. I don't tell stories when I'm not invited. Okay, so if you want to listen to my story, I have a story for you, Tales by Moonlight. I wanted to send story to the chat box. Okay, if you're ready to listen to my story, you want to, while we wait on Moses, you would like to listen and get to hear from me. I want you to send story to the chat box. So fantastic. So we have our Felicia story. We have Ma Umba Kuga. Apologies if I did not pronounce that correctly. Sincere apologies. That's Caleb, right? Story, fantastic. So Caleb is good to go. Unamdi is good to go. Casey is good to go. Scholastica is good to go. Great. So story. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. What are you supposed to respond to? Once upon a time. Time. Thank you very much, Dennis. I need more responses. Thank you, Casey. Okay. Thank you, Caleb. So once upon a time, time. There was a man called yeah, so once upon a time. There was a man called John. All right. There was a man called John. Now, John was a fantastic individual. John was doing well. John had everything he ever wanted. But John was missing something very important. Okay? I'll take that again. I'll start again. Once upon a time, there was a man called John. Now, John was a fantastic individual. He had everything he wanted. But there was something that was missing. He was looking to transition. John had the family, John had kids, John had every single thing. But there was something missing, like I said. And what was that? John wanted to transition from his current career path into a path that he saw a future in. John wanted to be able to get a pair of shoes worth $1,500 without batting an eye, without thinking of the month's rent. John wanted to live life. But John was a bit confused because there were so many career paths out there, so many things that John could do. He could either move to the left or he could move to the right. But what should he really do? He heard from a friend, and his friend's name was Sam. All right? He heard from his friend. Sam advised John that why don't you move to tech? Why don't you dive into tech? Tech is a fantastic path. and we have so many people making it in tech. Why don't you move into tech as well? John listened and was like, yeah, I think tech is good. But then came the dilemma. What aspects of tech should John delve into? Because John came to realize that tech was an umbrella term, but there were so many parts, so many careers under this word tech. There was the web developer, there was the data analyst, there was the data engineer, there was the UI UX designer, there was the blockchain developer, there was the software engineer, there was the business analyst, the project manager, there was the HR analyst, the financial analyst, so many parts. There was robotics. But which of them should they get into? Because at the end of the day, he wanted to get into something that he knew would be worth his time. We'll pause here. Okay, we'll pause here. Moses, are you good to go now? Hello, Moses, are you good to go? Okay, do you want to try maybe disconnecting your headset? Maybe that's the problem. Okay, if you could try disconnecting your headset, so and then you could speak, and probably that would be better. Okay. Hello, Moses. Do you want to try speaking? We still can't hear you. I can see you're muted, but sound is not coming through. All right, so do you want to maybe disconnect your headset and see if that would work?
Can you guys hear me clearly now?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you now. Fantastic. Okay. So, thank you very much, Moses. So, earlier I was telling the story of Caleb. Guys, don't worry. I'm gonna come back. Okay, I'll come back and I'll complete the story because I know we are having an amazing time. In the story, there was a time where John went to the village and John met an old woman. Because we know in this kind of stories, there's usually an old woman in the village, and there's a song that John sang to what? To draw the old woman's attention. There's usually a song in this kind of stories, okay? So I'll tell you the song and I'll tell you what John did for, the reason why he went to meet the old woman in the village. All right? So just stay tuned. As soon as Moses is done, I'll come back and I'll continue my story. Over to
All
you,
right.
Moses.
Thank you very much, Susa. Can you guys still hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right, that's good. Sorry about that. I think my headset wants to give me bad beat today, but thank God for other options that we have today. So if you guys can hear me clearly, or if there's a part you guys missed me, just let me know and I'll come back to it, explain more. So thank you very much, Isusa. You did a good job, and your story was actually lovely. Okay, so give me a minute. Let me share my screen and then we'll get started. Okay, can you guys see my screen now? All right. So good day, everyone, once again. My name is Moses Joshua. So I'll be taking you guys on SWOT analysis today and everything you need to know about SWOT analysis. So first thing first, I want to ask us a question. Have any of us actually heard the words SWOT analysis, or you used it somewhere, or you're working in an organization that uses SWOT analysis? Just put in the chat either yes or no or somewhat that I can go through. If you have, just put it in there. If you haven't, just put a no or a thumbs down. All right, that's great. Okay, thank you very much. I see that some people have actually seen or heard of SWOT analysis or have used it before. That's really great. So for those who haven't heard about it, don't worry, you're in the right place. I'll put us through on what it is. So first thing first, there's how I like to explain SWOT analysis, right? I start with what I call the three whys, right? The three whys in SWOT analysis. The first is what? What is SWOT analysis, right? That is the first one. And then the second will be why is it important? And then the third why, W will be who uses it. So there are three W's I'm talking about today. The first one is what is SWOT analysis? Second one is why is it important? And then the last W will be who uses SWOT analysis. So let's dive right into the first W that we have for today. What is SWOT analysis? Basically, SWOT analysis is just the strategic planning tool used to identify and understand the internal and external factors that can impact the business. I know you guys might be saying internal and external factor. What does this mean? It simply means SWOT. Let me just give the full meaning of SWOT, as I've said in the previous slide. SWOT means all of them stands for something, right? The first word, the first letter, which is the S, means strength. The second one, which is the W, is the weaknesses. The third one, the third letter, which is there, is what? The opportunities. And then the last one, the last letter that's there is what? Threats. Don't worry, we'll touch on every part of the letter, don't worry. So for when it comes to the internal, we have the strength and the weaknesses. These are both internal factors in SWOT analysis. And then the opportunities and threats are the external. Just note that down somewhere. Just know that for internal, when it comes to SWOT analysis, we have the internal and the external. The internal are the strengths and weaknesses. These are something within, when they say internal, within the organization, something that is within your capacity that you have control over. Like, okay, it's within, so you already know that this is in-house already. But when it comes to external factors, these are something outside that affects it or might affect it. So that's what external means. So if they said, that's why we say the strength and the weaknesses are internal. That means this is what we know about ourselves. We know our strength, we know our weaknesses in our organizations, right? And then the externals, these are things that we might not have the full capacity to control. And then the next one we have here is why is it important? The next W we have here is why is it important? The reason why I will say SWOT analysis is important is because it helps businesses assess internal and external factors for growth and risk mitigation. So this is basically just telling us why we actually need it. The reason why we do it is because we want to know where we're at and how we can build from where we're at to the future place we are going to, right? Because there's always a reason why we do things, right? And the main reason why we use SWOT, we have other reasons, but the main reasons why we use SWOT is because it helps us to grow. When we've actually known our strengths, we've known our weaknesses, and we've been able to tackle this, we'll be able to have a goal of where we're actually going to. So that it helps us to grow. And it also helps us with risk mitigation. If you know our opportunities and the threats that comes along with it, if we know our threat or the threat that comes to our business or organization, we'll know how to actually mitigate or find a solution for that risk or threat that's coming in, right? So that's why it is important. Then the next W I was talking about, which is the last one here, is what who actually uses it, right? I've made a list here, which is the business analyst, the strategist, executive, and entrepreneurs, right? But truth be told, anyone can actually use SWOT analysis, right? Let me use myself as an example. I myself, I can make use of SWOT analysis for myself, right? So, okay, how do I do that, right? How do I do that? If you want to ask me that, how do I do it? Firstly, I'm a human, right? And I have a goal where I want to go. First thing, I will need to know my strength as a human. Okay, as Moses Joshua, what are your strengths? Okay, I'm good at project management. I'm good at playing tennis. I'm good at playing Scrabble and all that. Those are my weaknesses. I know my weaknesses. So I've listed them down. Next is what? Since I've known my weakness, my strength, I should know my weaknesses also. So I'll also list my weaknesses down there. I'll list my weaknesses. And when you are dealing with SWOT analysis, it's best to use this. There's always a template we use. We draw a big circle, we divide it into different quadrants, right? Right into different quadrants, and we use that to actually explain SWOT analysis. It's best when you are able to visualize. Okay, you visualize your strengths, you visualize your weaknesses, you're able to see everything on a single diagram. So it's better for us. It speaks more better because I've noticed that people actually relate more with image and graphics and all. If you see a graphic, you'll be able to relate more that, oh, this is what this graphics is saying, this is what it's saying, than other than going to read a lot of things. Oh, I'm reading this material, opening from page to page to page. It's kind of boring sometimes, right? So it's better for us to actually visualize it. That's why we use this template, right? The SWOT template, right? Which I'll share you guys as we go on how to actually make use of this template, right? So now we move to the next one we're talking about today, which is the okay, before I move on, it is also a framework. It is a framework. SWOT is basically a framework that is used to evaluate a company's competitive position, and also help them develop strategic plans on how to actually either beat the competition or better themselves to actually go ahead of the competition that is in front of them, right? So now let's move to the next one, which is what understanding what SWOT analytics is. Now we are breaking it down, all the letters I've been talking about from the beginning, the S, the W, the O, and then the T. So I'll be breaking them down for us here. So firstly, let's look at the T. What is the T standing for here? The T is basically, what I'll say is firstly, it's just internal advantage. Like what is that edge you have over other places? What is that edge you have? That's what strength is. These are the things you or your organizations does particularly well. That means the things you are extraordinarily good at, that even if they wake you from sleep, oh yeah, coaches, can you do this thing? Come and do this thing for us. You'll be able to do it without any issues, right? So that is what your strength is, right? It is what distinguishes you from other people. You can say, okay, oh, in a group of friends, who can do this? They'll be able, like 4 or 5 people will be able to point, go and meet that guy. I know I have a clique of friends whereby like 4 or 5 of us. If anyone asks us, okay, who is the life of the party among? Immediately your hand will go to that person. Oh, this person is always the life of the party. There is nowhere that person will not talk. The person will not want to show himself. So those are strengths, right? You're able to know something about yourself. When it comes to organization, we have strong brand. When you say strong brand, meaning okay, something like Apple. If you see Apple logo somewhere, you will know that this is Apple. Those are their strengths. They have already built to the extent that even their logos speak for them without any marketing. If you see like Apple sign, you just know that oh, this is the Apple product, right? There's no need for much talk. There's no that's their strength. They already have their strength, their strong brand already. So now let's move to weaknesses, right? What are weaknesses? To me, I would say they are internal limitations. These are what I call things that actually make you not to be on par, like makes you underperform, basically. Basically, is what you are not good at, right? You've seen your strength. So your weaknesses is what is that those things that are hindering you. Sometimes, let me talk to myself. Sometimes, um, let me say, sometimes you might be lazy to do some things. That comes once in a while, right? That might be a weakness, right? So one other one can be procrastination. It can be a weakness for me personally. I'm using myself and I'm using organization as an example here so that you guys will be able to get a full picture of what I'm trying to paint here, right? So the next one is what? So example here, we can have poor customer service. That's example of a weakness, right? For customer service, if you are doing a product and customers are complaining frequently about the product or giving complaints, especially when it comes to banking system, right? Some banking system, they always complain. Customer will always reach out to the banking system. Oh, what's wrong with your app? I've been trying to make this transaction for a while and it has not been going through. I know what's the issues. I know. So those are weaknesses. And another example of a weakness is what? High cost. When it comes to Apple, let me use Apple as an example. When it comes to Apple, not everyone can actually use an Apple product, right? It's majorly for middle class and then high class people, right? Because you cannot be struggling to feed yourself and say you want to go and buy a phone of $1,000 or $500 just to hold or something. Most people don't value it like that. So it's people that can actually use it that will be able to know that okay, this is what I want to do. So that is also a weakness for them, right? So the next one I'll be talking about is what the opportunities, right? Opportunity is an external factor, as I've said earlier on, is an external factor that benefits the business, right? How does this mean? Basically, as a business, when you are growing, right, you see other things that might entice you, might want to put inside your business. Okay, let me use the reigning or trending thing here now. AI. Everyone wants to incorporate AI into their business, right? Because that's what is trending. Because you don't want to go below expectation, and you see other competitors that are beside you trying to use AI. You want to use that opportunity also, right? You now venture into AI and you now integrate AI into your business. That's also helping you. And also, looking as a business, if you want to look into new trends, like okay, let me use myself as an example now. I want to move into like a business, right? I want to move into a business. I would like opportunities for myself, probably learn a new skill or um or try to like build on another area relating to project management. That's me looking for other opportunities. I can decide to also say, okay, instead of just doing this, I can move into doing project content creation for project management. That's me looking into other perspective or other areas in project management. I'm looking into new market, right? So that is opportunities. Can you guys still hear me up to this extent? Do you guys have any complaints? Any questions? All right. So if you have any complaints or any way you need me to explain more, just put it in the chat. Okay, so Caleb, what do you want to say? Just put it in the chat there and I'll be able to read it. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So the last one here is what? The last external factor here is what? Threat. That is the last. Thank you very much. That is the last that's the last letter here, which is the T, threat. This is the external threat. You know, I mentioned earlier on that the two things that fall under, we have the internal and the external factors, right? And we said strength and weaknesses are internal factors. Now, the last for the external factors, the last one here is what the threat. Threat is like more like what is this unforeseen thing that is coming or it's going to affect us later on, like a risk. Like a race, okay, oh, what is that thing that we've not actually looked into that we see that okay, oh, is going to creep in and because the where threat can actually creep in from your weaknesses. So check your weaknesses. What are in your weaknesses that can actually lead to threat or risk in your organization? Now, let me use the example I use in this thing here. The example I use for weakness here, I use poor customer service. If you don't handle this poor customer service, it eventually turns to threat on your business because of most people who want to divert into other applications or other services that serves them more better. Other examples that I have here is what competition. If you're not doing well, as compared to the example I used for the weakness there, if you're not doing well, other people want to move to the next competitors that are available, right? They will be because they would have seen okay, what is they too they'll be doing their own SWOT analysis also. So the first person that does it good actually and implements it actually wins the race, right? They too they would have gotten someone to say, okay, who are our competitors? How can we get better than them? So if they're able to spot weaknesses in your own area and you've not fixed it, they themselves, your competitors, will build on this weakness that you already have and then become a threat for you. You guys get that? So that's what threat is. That's what threat is. And now let's look for the next one here. How SWOT analysis actually benefits business analysts. How does it benefit? Okay, so I listed four here, how it benefits us. One is what? Provide structure, approach to perform or to problem solving. Provide structure approach to problem solving. After doing your SWOT analysis, right? What do you use it for? Right? You have to use this. Okay, you've gotten your strengths, you've gotten your weaknesses, you've known your opportunities, you've known your threats. What do you do with them? This is what you now use to create a structured approach to the problem you have so that you can be able to solve those problems. Those are your weaknesses that might eventually turn to threats. This is where you now use the structure to actually work on those things and then become better, right? Next is what? Enhance strategic decision making. So this is simply saying if you already know this much about your company, you've known everything, this what process in your company, you'll be able to make an informed decision. You ask you, okay, what is our strength? You'll be able to say this, and list it out. And the weaknesses, you'll be able to list it easily. And then with that, you can use it to say, okay, let's make this decision. Where are we now? What do we want to do to make us better? What do we want to do to make us better? How can we? So you'll be able to talk with your team and make precise decisions based on the research or the data you've actually gathered about yourself and your competitors. All right. The next one we have here is what? Identify a business priorities, right? So this is basically saying prioritize in your business, put a scale of preference, right? You should have a scale of preference. What do we do now? What do we do later on in the future? You cannot say what's a pending issue, a pending weakness is happening now, and you want to start looking for the one that might occur in the future. Right? It's not making sense, right? So if you okay, let me use an example of the customer service I used before, right? If you're having poor customer service at this moment, you're having possible customer service at this moment. What is now your why don't you first of all tackle that one before looking up to like, okay, I want to integrate another feature into the app, right? Instead of doing that, installing feature into the software is also great, right? It's also great. It's also helps you with other opportunities. But based on priority you have, that is not important. So I'm just using this as an example so that you guys can be able to relate easily with what I'm saying, right? So the next one we have here is what? Help in risk assessment and mitigation. So after everything you've done, after everything that has been said and done, and you've done everything, you'll be able to assess your risk and say, okay, these are where we have issues, and this is how we're going to mitigate them. This is our weaknesses, this is how we're going to solve them. Because the reason why you create SWOT analysis is actually to know how to actually make a business better in the first place, right? So after getting your weaknesses, right, and you don't want them to turn to a threat on your organization, what you have to do is what? Create a mitigation plan for how you want to actually solve this, right? So a good way to actually do this. So now, next I will explain to us is what are the best practices to actually conduct an effective SWOT analysis. What are the best practices, right? So we've been talking since about okay, SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis this, SWOT analysis that. How can we actually conduct it effectively? How can we start it? First thing I would like to say before I start with involve key stakeholders is what use the templates. Draw your big circle. I know it's somehow. Draw your big circle, put your S, put your W, put your O, and put your T. That will help you to actually be writing it down to be able to see how it goes. I'll explain to you how it makes it easier, right? So let's go. The next one, first line I say is what? Use the template, right? Template, it makes it better. I'll show you an example of the two, writing it normally and then using template. And you judge yourself which one looks more presentable, right? The first one we have here is what involve stakeholders. So when you want to start doing this, you have to involve stakeholders, everyone involved in the team, be it your customers, be it the people that's working on the product. You have to involve everyone, sit them down. Okay, we're trying to create a SWOT analysis to know our weaknesses, to know our strengths, to know our opportunities, and to know our strengths, right? So how do we do this? How do we do this, right? You have to like talk with everyone. But they are the people that actually know this your organize. They are the people that know this organization well. They are the people that know this organization well, so they will be able to increase, so that you'll be able to make better decisions on this. The next one I have here is after you guys have actually talked and you make your conclusion, you've spoken with everyone involved in the project. Next is what set a clear objective. Now we've done our discussion, right? Everyone knows our strengths, we know our weaknesses. What's next to do? Set a clear goal. What do we want to do? How do we plan to move forward in our business or in our organization? What can we do to get better? What can we do to get those opportunities, right? After doing that, you gather accurate data about your competitors. This can be you gather accurate data about your competitors, right? This is where the data is necessary. Right? You need to know people that you are competing with, know how their market trend work, know what they do, so that you will be able to better solve or do a better job on your own business or organization. Right. So after doing that, the next is what identify strength. According to what I've said, you've gathered your data, you've done everything. The next is what identify your strength. In your meeting with the stakeholders, where you put get stakeholder involved, you guys will talk about your strength. Okay, where are our strengths? And then you guys will be able to discuss that. Next, you guys will move towards analyzing your weaknesses. All right, fine. We've known our strength. The next is what weaknesses, and then after then you move towards explore opportunities. You explore opportunities, meaning you've already gathered your data, you've known what is trending, you've known about the market you want to enter. When it comes to gathering data, you're not just gathering data only for your competitors, right? You're also gathering data to make your own organization improve or get better. So you have to check the trend, check the areas, your what should I call it? Your target audience. Check your target audience. What do they need? What can we sell to them to make it easier for them to actually use our platform, right? Those are what you gather when you are gathering your data. And this will help you when you are exploring your opportunities. And when you're done with that, next we'll move towards assess the threat. What are the threats that you might be encountering in your organization? What are the threats that you might be facing? One thing that every organization always faces when it comes to threats is what? Who can say it in the chat? One thing that we always face as an organization is what? One threat. If anyone can say it, I'll be happy for that. Well, okay, let's move on. The next one will be what? Let me just see it so that let me just see it. Nice, 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 nice. I have a lot of people paying attention here. You guys are really good. It's competition. It's always the number one thing. You want to know who is at your back, who is following me bomber to bomber. I need to be ahead of that person no matter what. Right? Thank you very much, Caleb. Also, I need to be ahead of that person. So you are not relenting in any way. So those are always the number one threat when it comes to organization, business, even yourself. Because if you stay stagnant, as I will always say to myself, right? Or there's a saying that says 20 childhood friends, when they eventually grow up, they will not still remain 20, they will not still be friends again. Life will eventually happen. Some people will drop along the ways, some people will go higher, some people will go lower, a few people will be together to talk about how to move each other forward. So be among the people that are at the top. whereby you are not falling behind. Because if you fall behind, you've lost the race, right? That's where you have to assess your threats, right? So the next one we're going to be talking about is what prioritize and then strategize. I think I spoke about that in the previous slide where I said you have to prioritize your what you have to do. Prioritize, okay, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do later on? After prioritize, then you strategize. Okay, now I've made my priority. How do I do this? How do I make this possible? That's what it means by strategizing. And then after all this, we now do regular reviews and updates. Because if we don't do regular reviews, if the data you take last month is not the same data you get now, so everything is changing. A lot of softwares are being developed, a lot of AIs are being developed. So regularly check your updates or things relating to your organization that can make it better, right? Always make updates, check your competitors. Don't say because your competitors are at your back yesterday, you feel relaxed. There's no relaxing anywhere. As long as you want to keep growing, you continue growing. If you say you relax one bit like this, you see someone that's already overtake you, and they will not overtake you with like small gap. They will have overtake you whereby you will now start working times two or times three of what you've been doing before. Something that should have been avoided, right? So that's why it is necessary to actually do regular reviews and updates. The next is what communicate and involve the team. As I will say in every of my class, communication is always necessary. It's important. In this life, in anywhere, you have to communicate. You don't put things inside your mind. It will just rot inside your mind, right? Sorry for that. Sorry for that, actually. But what I'm just trying to pass across is that it's good to communicate. No matter how it is, don't feel shy. I know some people might be shy or some people have stage fright. Let me be honest with you guys. I do have stage fright sometimes. I do. I'm always shy when it, but I am building over that over time. I'm working on my weaknesses, right? That's what I'll call weaknesses for my own part, right? So I'm working on my weaknesses because it's good to actually speak, communicate your ideas. No one can read your mind, right? It's good to communicate. Communicate with the team and communicate with everyone involved in the team. Proper communication will make the product actually move further, faster. So now let's look at some real life example. Let's look at one or two examples, right? So this is me writing it in like a normal form, right? I use the example I'm using here is what Apple. I know everyone knows Apple. There's nothing to ask. Everyone knows Apple. Or if you know you know Apple. You know Apple products. You know what they do, right? You know their brand, right? So what I did was I listed their strengths, I listed their weaknesses, and then their opportunities they have, and then the threats. I listed them out. So and after doing this, I also put it in SWOT um template, and you see how it looks there, right? So now let's move. For Apple, um, I will not want to show you guys, but I'll just list this and then I'll ask you guys to add other things to it. What you think? So for Apple, we said the first thing they have is strong brand. As I've said previously, Apple, there's no way you see Apple logo and you will not know that this is Apple logo, right? There's no way you see Apple product and you will not know that this is Apple product. They've already created that brand. So they don't need to talk more, they don't need to do much when it comes to marketing, right? They've already built that reputation there. Next is what innovative product. They always have like unique products always out there, like unique products. Like there is nothing you want to say. People always want to use their product. Their products always, even their software, they don't share software with other hundreds. Like they always compete with hundreds of that we stand alone and all that. Right. The next one is what loyal customers, right? Apple is one of the I think for me, for what I know, Apple is like one of the top brands. I know that people will say no matter what, they will say no matter the situation, it is still Apple will use. If you like complain that this, they will still say it is Apple will eventually use. So they've actually built that loyal customer base that no one can actually break that from their head. So okay, this is me listing all this out. So I want like you guys to add what other strength do you think Apple has? I know all of you knows Apple product, right? So just add what other strength you think is not included here, and let me know what you guys think. Let me see if you guys are able to follow up with this analysis we are building up right here. So let me know the add extra other strength that will be added here, and let me see as I move on. So the next one I will talk about is what weaknesses. I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking at the chart here. So if you guys add, I will know here. So I'll just go to the next one. Okay, so we have someone said security, storage of data, and camera quality. Perfect. They have strength in that. When it comes to security storage, they are good at storing your data. Thank you very much, Caleb. That's good. We have strength and durability. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. So the next one we have is weaknesses. What are the weaknesses up on my face? Right. The first one is what high product price. As according to what I've said before, the price if you've not at least if you have not eaten comfortably, you'll not be thinking of getting an Apple product, right? You'll not be thinking it will not even be crossing your head. So it's majorly for middle class, at least you've gotten something to you're able to eat 3 square meal a day comfortably, and you're still able to sort some other bills comfortably. That's when you now start thinking, okay, let me now move to getting an Apple product or something like that, right? So it's not for lower class people, right? It's majorly for middle class and above. For those that want to use it, there's some people that say, okay, I'm not interested in doing that. So those are one of the weaknesses. The next is dependency on iPhone sales. If we can recall, iPhone has other gadgets, right? They have other things they do, but the main selling thing they have is iPhone. Most people don't know that they have other gadgets that they do apart from what's it called? Apart from selling of phones, right? They have other accessories, including watches, earbuds, and so on. They have other accessories. So and not only accessories, they do other things also. So so they are only dependent on iPhone sales because they know that they've already built this their loyal fan base already. So they don't need to do much of marketing, right? So they just focus on just sell the iPhone. That's why they do release phone every year because they know that if they use the market trend of the phone, you'll be able to get people to buy the earbuds, and then buy the Vision Pro, buy the MacBook, and all. So they use one as the forefront, then they add other ones to it. So this is the weaknesses. So I'd like you guys to like mention other weaknesses that you think Apple might have. I know one or two on my head, so I'll be looking at the chat also. So you guys should mention other weaknesses you think Apple might have. So the next one here is what the opportunities. What are the opportunities Apple might have in the future, right? The first one is expansion in emerging markets, right? So Apple should, what they are saying in here is Apple should expand into other communities or ecosystems, right? They should not just be like flagship for um devices or gadgets. They should look into like Samsung now. We know Samsung does a lot of things. They've entered into that market already. They do a lot. They do fridge, they do home appliances, some home appliances, and all. They've entered into that market. But Apple has not actually entered into that market already. They are just in their gadget space, like phone accessories and all everything relating to gadgets. They are still in that ecosystem. Now imagine Apple expanding their reach into other aspects. What do you think will happen? Apple release Apple release a refrigerator now and they see Apple logo on top. Everybody will say now Apple will buy. Part of my English, sorry. So I know I that. So they eventually, if they imagine them doing that, and you see that okay, Apple start releasing refrigerators, and you see that Apple start releasing smart TVs, and you see a lot of people want to like turn their whole home into like Apple this thing ecosystem on its own, connecting everything together. So they like the fact that everything is connected, right? The next is what AI integration. I think they started doing this already where they try to integrate AI into the iPhone 16, right? And other upgrades are coming up. But even when the iPhone 16 was released, then it was not included in it, right? They don't have the AI feature that they promised, but it was subsequently when they did the upgrade. I think that was when it eventually came up. Okay, someone said for the weakness, someone said closed ecosystem limiting compatibility with non-Apple devices. Exactly. One of the weaknesses. They don't relate with other people. It's only Apple. It's only Apple. You cannot share. You cannot even get some app you have here. You can't have it on your iPhone because it's not visible. Next person says proper TV device, not the Apple TV decoder channel. Okay, this one is also there. So thank you very much, guys. So the last thing we'll be talking about here is what? Yes, yes, proper TV. So the next thing we're talking about is the threat. What are the threats Apple face? The first one is what I would say competition. Or competition is always the first. There are increasing competitions coming up now a lot. Like we have Samsung. Samsung is always there, following them bomber to bomber. Now we have Hawaii coming up also. Yes. Samsung has another gadget too. Yes, thank you very much. You guys are already helping me to list other opportunities. Thank you. So you can add other opportunities in the chat also, and I'll also read them through as I go on, right? So for the threat, we say the first threat is what competition. We have Samsung as competition. We have Google. Google is also releasing phones now. Google is a search engine. Now they are releasing phones and other accessories also. Hawaii also is also one of the competitors that are trying to like bring up their own market to compete with iPhones also, especially in China, right? You have Hawaii, a bit Hawaii. I don't know. A lot of people pronounce it somehow. I don't know. I don't know the right pronunciation. Sorry about that. So the next one we have here is what supply chain disruption, creating their own token. Someone said creating their own token as an opportunity. Do you know the funny thing? Some people will still buy. Some people will still buy, but there are a lot of people that say no matter what, as long as there's Apple on it, they will still buy. Okay, so now let's move this last part. So you guys can add some other thread that you feel um, Apple should or Apple has or Apple might be facing in the future. Just add some other thread there. Let's see. Let's see. So now this is a picture of how it is when you put it on the SWOT template, meaning the SWOT template. This is how it is. Everything is listed by the side. We have the strength here, and under the strength, we have the opportunity that can go into it, right? And then the weakness. We know that weaknesses can lead to threats. So it's directly under it. So you know what is leading to the threat. And for the strength, you know what is leading to the opportunity. With your strength, you can get more opportunity. And with weaknesses, if you don't tackle it correctly, it will lead to threat that might affect the organization. So that is why I say this chart is important. So with this, you don't need to like be scrolling through, okay, well, let's do like going through, let's see what is there, let's compare it to what is there. This is actually helping us a pictorial, like a visualized image of how it is being presented. Because it's with this now you can read everything here and still get the full image of what you're talking about. So now the other strength we have here is what I listed them here: global presence, which is building of brand. The next one is what leading innovation and technology. They are the leading tech actually for now. At least they are among the top leading tech when it comes to gadgets and all. They are among the brand loyalty. I think we mentioned that already. Brand loyalty. There are a lot of die-hard fans there already that would always use iPhone. And the next one is sustainability through Liam. Liam is simply saying, Liam simply means like recycling of their phones, right? If you see iPhone 14, 15, 16, they are basically looking at like just few changes there. You just sit down and say, let's just add this to this. Let's just add this to this. They don't really want to do much when it comes to the hardware part, right? You just do little changes and people will still rush it. because of they are good at actually doing recycling of previous products. Because Apple will eventually change this their new this thing, a new hardware they have, I change to another one. It's going to take a while, right? So they'll keep using this. So those are one of their weaknesses, and they are good at it. The next one is the weaknesses, which are being listed here also. High pricing strategy, which I've listed, which I've said previously. Over reliance of key products. Key products meaning their phone flag, like their phones. That's one of their key products. Their MacBooks. Those are one of their key products. They will always rely on that anywhere you want to go. And most people want to hold phones with three camera now. It's not straight camera, that iPhone camera they want to hold, that one that they arrange like that. They don't even mind. They don't want to know how it is. Let them just hold that thing. They feel like they are monk when they actually hold that. So that's where it's. So next weakness they have is what closed ecosystem. According to one of the someone mentioned in the chat here, they have closed ecosystem, right? They don't interact much with other um, applications or softwares or devices. They don't interact much, right? So the ecosystem is closed and secure. So next one is limited customization opportunity, and then we move to the opportunity, which are also listed here. I've said it before. Penetration into emerging markets, advancement of brain tech technology, and then venturing into virtual reality. I think they actually started that their goggle that you wear, and then you'll be able to see. You'll be able to do a lot of things like a platform, or you'll just be able to control basically everything wearing that. I don't know what's called. Can someone just tell me that in the chat channel? What is that device that Apple wears, and then they'll be able to operate like a virtual reality? I think that's the name. Okay, augmented reality and other opportunities also that have been listed here. So now let's move to the next one, which you have here, which is the Tesla. I know a lot. So I'm trying to use, I'll use like two, three examples to actually explain to us. I'll show you this, and I'll also show you how it looks like when you put it on the chart, right? Next one here is about Tesla. All of who does not know Tesla here? Let me see your hands up if you don't know Tesla. Say yes or drop in something in the chat if you don't know Tesla. Because lots of people know Tesla, right? Lots of people know Tesla, right? Mhm. If you don't know Tesla, you must have heard of Elon Musk. He's still the same person. He owns it. So this is like a big market already. So one of the strengths it has is what market leader in EV. In EV, that means electric vehicles, right? He's one of the leaders. He's the one that even brought up the I don't know if he's the one that brought up the idea, but he's the leading company when it comes to electric and vehicles, right? The next one is what strong research and development. R&D means research and development. They do a lot of research when it comes to Tesla, a lot. And Tesla is not just restricted to just electric vehicles. They do a lot of things also, right? But majorly, they focus on the same way Apple focus on their flagship device, which is the iPhone. Tesla mostly focus on their electric vehicles. That's one of their selling points also. So they do lots of research when it comes to Tesla. That's one of their strengths. They are good at that. They are good at doing research and development. They are always ready to build. What are we building next? How are we going to the moon? What can we do to get there and remain there? So there are a lot of thinking. They do a lot of research and development. Next thing was they already have brand reputation there already. They have stable brand reputation. So there's no way you see the Tesla logo and you don't know that this is Tesla, right? So they built that already. So now for the weaknesses here, we have what high production costs. If you don't have money, same thing as what's it called? Same thing as iPhone. But this one is even more. If you don't have money, you will not be able to use an electric vehicle from Tesla, right? It requires a lot of money for you to sit down comfortably and your car will be driving you. You need money for that, right? So that's one of the weaknesses. It's not for people that's not. It's not for low class income people, right? It's for people that are actually or high class or middle class people. Those are people that can actually afford it, and that is one of the weaknesses that you should look into. Right. The next is what supply chain issue. Supply chain, meaning that how can they have weakness when it comes to moving it to diverse countries or nations, right? That is one of the weaknesses they have. They cannot move it across diverse places. So opportunities. Okay, so let's do it like this. For the strength, if you want to, I would like you guys to just put other strength that you feel I'm missing out or is not included here in the chat channel. So what you do is put the strength and then you put the strength you're writing, right? Then for the weaknesses, do the same also for me. Put the weaknesses in front, then put like high cost maintenance also. Someone said high cost maintenance for weaknesses. Thank you very much for that, Sammy. For the weaknesses, you just put weaknesses in front and then write the weaknesses that you talked about. Like what Samuel wrote here now, you just put weaknesses in front and then put your answer there on weakness. Same thing as the other ones I'll be saying, opportunities and the threat. I'll be looking at the chat also to read your answers out. So for the opportunities, the opportunity they have is government incentives for EVs, right? If Elon Musk says he's going to reach out to the government for funding, they will immediately want to incentivize him because government are always keen to wanting to put their money in something that is favorable to them, right? Or something that they can benefit. So when he says, okay, I'm coming to do this, this is what I want to do next, right? So you guys should incentivize me. They would always be ready to do that. So this is one of the areas you can actually look into. The next is what expansion into new markets. Same thing as what we said for iPhone, or similar thing what we said for iPhone. Imagine Tesla that thing on other type of devices or other things. I think he's already making phones now. We have Tesla phones now already, right? We have Tesla phones. Imagine him moving to other section also. We have Tesla vehicle already. We have Tesla phone. Imagine him doing Tesla home appliances and all. There will be a lot of opportunities for him with that. So he has different options. I think he's taking it slow and steady. You'll get there eventually, right? So, what are the strengths? Thank you very much, Samuel. He said for the strength, we said security against theft. Tesla has one. Tesla has. Thank you very much, Samuel. It's actually good. A lot of people cannot actually hack into Tesla. A lot. You can't hack into Tesla, right? Next strength we have here is no fuel or gas consumption. Thank you very much, Killer. That's good. No fuel or gas consumption. That's one of the strengths. And then for the weaknesses, battery takes time to be fully charged and it doesn't last up to 24 hours. Those are one of the weaknesses that they need to look into. Thank you very much, Samuel. That's really great. And then the next one we'll be talking about here is what the threat, competition, rising competition. That is one thing. There's always competition. It's always the number one when it comes to SWOT analysis, when it comes to real life business. There's always competition, as I've said before. And for now, they've not gotten to where Tesla is as of now, but they've started. As long as Tesla does not relent, he's good to go. But immediately he relents, a lot of people want to like tackle the idea and move forward, right? So there's always rising competition. Like we have here, Rivian and then Lucid. These are all EV companies. They also make their own electric vehicles also. Imagine them uh, doing this, and then if Tesla just slack or falls behind or something happens, he's no longer interested in all this again. All this kind of rising competition will actually take over the place, right? The next trend they have is battery supply constraint. They don't supply enough battery. I think if you have a Tesla and then your battery has issues, it's gonna take a while, or it's gonna take a while for the battery to actually get to you. I think that's one of the reasons or complaints when it comes to battery supply constraint. Thank you very much, Sammy. You said for the strength, environmentally friendly. Thank you, including other parts. Thank you very much. You said including other parts, meaning it's not just the battery that is difficult to actually get or constraint. So now this is me putting. Let's go back to the slide back. So this is me putting this in the SWOT analysis template or presenting it in SWOT analysis format here. So here, same thing I've said before, we have the strength, we have the weaknesses, we have the opportunity, and then we have the threat down here, right? So I listed for the strength, I listed everything that is here. They are the top employer company. I think there's a tweet that Elon Musk released some time ago that he said, not that he said, I'm not quoting it word for word, but he said something around he's more interested in like the skill you offer than the certificate, right? So as long as you're skilled, he's always ready to actually employ you. So lots of people are actually moving into Tesla now, be it moving because he employs a lot of people. As long as you are in that category and you have the skill, you are good to go. So a lot of top employers are being employed there. Those are one of the strengths. And that strength is what most valued automotive company, right? As I've said previously. Then the next one is better position. That means he's had a solid ground. He's standing on a very solid ground now. Standing on a very solid ground now, as of now. So these are other opportunities. So now let's move to other so we have other ones here also. I did the same for Netflix here, and then you'll be able to see the listed here, the strength of the Netflix here. Extensive content library, and then strong brand. They also have strong brand presence and global user base, right? So I know a lot. Who does not know Netflix now? A lot of people use Netflix. Thank you. Opportunities to expand to hybrid cars. Thank you very much, Samuel. So a lot of people use Netflix. Let's go back to Netflix. A lot of people use Netflix, and these are their own weakness, their strength, and the opportunities and threats they also have for their business. Listed here also, and then I presented that in the using the SWOT analysis we've been using previously. This is it. This is how beautiful it is. This is how it should be presented. It's easier to actually read. You'll be able to go scan through everything successfully, and you'll be able to know what strength can actually fit in the opportunities you have, and what weaknesses might eventually turn to threat. So now let's look into the best practices for effective SWOT analysis. Similar to what we said earlier for conducting SWOT analysis. One is what objective, be objective and data driven, meaning that be objective according to what we said previously. Be objective and data driven. Get your data right. Then set a good goal. Let you guys. This will actually help us to actually know what we want to do, and with the right data we've actually gathered from the first from when we're conducting the SWOT analysis, we'll be able to get good data and we'll be able to know how to actually tackle the threats that we're going to be facing or the weaknesses we're going to be facing. And then the next one is what use of competitor benchmark for better insights. One of the best reasons why I use or why it is great for organizations to actually use SWOT analysis, it actually helps us to actually set a benchmark using our competitors, right? You know where our competitors are at the moment, right? You'll be able to say, okay, this place, it is too low for us because this is where our competitor is. We need to go higher, like 3 steps higher or 4 steps higher, so that we'll be ahead of them. So your goal as a company is make them your stepping stone. It's not bad for everyone is out to actually be on the top, right? So you have to actually put them at the lowest point that okay, we can't go beyond this point. We have to go above, right? That's what benchmark is. The next one is what keep it concise and focused, right? Keep your analysis concise and focused. Next is what update regularly as business condition changes. According to what I've said earlier on, always make your update, do your finding regularly. It can be weekly, it can be monthly, but always check regularly, check for updates regularly because the world is changing every day. The next, last but not the least, is what integrate with other strategic tools. We have other tools also which can be used or integrated also. So common mistakes to avoid in SWOT analysis. What are the common mistakes to avoid? One is lack of objectivity. After doing your SWOT analysis, and you are not able to make a concise objective, that means you've actually wasted your time gathering all the data or doing all these things you've been doing, right? At the end of the day, after doing your SWOT analysis, you should be able to point out, okay, now that we've done this, what can we do? List out the points we are doing. When it comes to opportunity, okay, how can we better ourselves as a company? What can we do to avoid these weaknesses or to actually reduce our weaknesses? What can we do with the threats we are going to be facing competition? How can we still be afloat? How can we still be at the top without any issues? Next one is what? Ignoring market trend. It's very wrong when we ignore market trend. Very, very wrong. Because according to what I've said before, for regular updates, imagine you not doing regular updates and you say you want to remain in that status quo that you are before. Okay, let me cite a simple example. Imagine a company of those days that uses paper to do all their work, right? A big company of those days, like probably 20, 20, 2001, 2002, 2005, all those years. They use paper. They don't use computer, nothing like that to store any data. Right? They use paper, they run through doing paper, use paper to do everything, right? They have no tool, they have no software to actually make their work easier. Now imagine you in 2024 and you still say you want to still stick with your paper routine that you're doing in your organization, right? Where people are already using AI to do a lot of things and are still um um relying on your paper. It's not making sense. So you should always follow the market trend as it's going. As market is evolving, you as an organization you should be able to evolve with the market. One-time analysis, what it's saying is do not just do one-time analysis. These are the common mistakes people do. After doing their first data, when they've gone to compile different data, they eventually leave the data, say, okay, oh, we have done this analysis, they don't need to do more. You should always regularly check for updates, regularly do your analysis, check your back. According to what they will say, check your back. Is your competitors not right behind you? Know what you want to do and all those kind of things. So it's necessary to do multiple analysis at the same time. Next one is what prioritizing, not prioritizing issues. If you see that this is one common mistake that most people make, that they feel that okay, competitors are you are way ahead of your competitors and you feel you should relax a bit, right? When it is threat, it is threat. And there's one thing that is always a threat, competition. So it is always a threat. So you cannot relax on one thing. So you should always prioritize that as an issue and not forget it. Or you should always be at the back of your mind, right? That there is always someone behind me. I need to be ahead. I need to continue stepping forward. I need to continue moving forward. Always prioritize the issue. And we have other issues that might occur, probably your weaknesses. Those are issues that you should always prioritize. So when you're not prioritizing that means you're not making use of everything that you've done using the SWOT analysis. Next, failure to link SWOT to strategy. So what's now the purpose of doing your SWOT analysis? You can't link that to your strategies, right? That's the question I'll ask myself. Like, why did you now go through all those things if you can't eventually make use of it? So the main purpose of doing this is actually to what, make use of this and to implement this in your strategy for your company, right? The next is overlooking internal limitation. As an organization, as you're looking for regular updates outside, you should also not overlook the limitation you have internally as an organization, right? So because of your team is good at doing this, it should not mean that you should leave it to them and not do regular checkups on them, right? Always do regular checkup. There is always limitation. Sometimes it might come on. So overlooking internal limitation is very wrong. It's a common mistake that we should avoid when doing SWOT analysis. And last but not least is what, confusing symptoms for causes. Confusing symptoms for causes. Symptoms. The symptoms is more like confusing your weakness for threat. That's the simple example or simple way to actually put it. Confusing your weakness for your strength. You have a little ache here and there. You are now um you are now thinking that that is the cause of your downfall or something. So That is the thing we should. These are the common mistakes we should try to avoid when using SWOT analysis. So let's move to the next slide here. Sorry. Okay, last this before the last slide, implementing SWOT and insight. One of the ways to actually implement the SWOT insight is what turn strength into competition and competitive advantages, right? Next is what the major reasons why we do SWOT is actually turn according to the diagram I showed you guys. You see that the strength is below, directly below the opportunities, right? So we should be able to turn our strength into competitive advantage, meaning that we should look into other opportunities, venture more, and then see how we can actually grow our business. The next one is what address weaknesses through targeted improvements. And now we've actually stated all our weaknesses out. Now, how do we target them and improve ourselves as an organization? Other point is capitalize on opportunities by adapting strategies. Now we've known our opportunities, we should be able to capitalize on them, be able to build other strategies. Okay, now this is the opportunities we have, these are the opportunities we are looking ahead. How do we work on this, right? So you should be able to put that in your strategy also. And last but not the least here, mitigate threat with proactive risk management. Now you've known the threat that you are facing as an organization, right? Or as a business or as a person, right? So the next thing you do is how do you mitigate for this? How do you manage this risk? You might not be able to stop the risk totally, but how do you manage it so that it does not become an issue at the end of the day, right? So in conclusion, SWOT is a powerful strategy tool for business, as we all know. And I've shown you guys exactly how it is being used and how to use that. It actually helps businesses make data-driven decisions. After doing everything, right, you should be able to implement this SWOT analysis strategy that we've done into your businesses and help the businesses improve. So that is the major goal of doing the SWOT analysis. Should be able to help you improve as a business, as an organization, as a person. It should also help you, it should be used regularly to update and stay competitive. I've said it severally. One of the reasons why I would do it is there's always someone at your back. So you have to always do regular checkups, regular updates, and always stay competitive. Having it at the back of your mind that someone is at your back. So always be ready to struggle like this is my business, it has to be on the top. Right. So the next last but not the least here is combine SWOT with other technical methods for better results. So we have other methods also that apart from these SWOT that can be used. I think I stated that in an example there that can be used also. So you can just implement that and use that, make it better. This is just to help us make it better, get better results at the end of the day. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll pass it to Isisa now to continue. So, okay, Isisa, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Moses. That's been fascinating. Okay, before we started, there was something I told each and every one of us on the call, and what was that? I mentioned and I said that at the end of this session, you could call yourself a business analyst because you would have an understanding about what about SWOT analysis, and SWOT analysis is one of the areas of one of the skills that you need to be a business analyst. You being able to analyze the business, you being able to determine, okay, this is what our strengths are, these are our weaknesses, our opportunities, and of course, our threats. Okay, so you are able to tell this is what we need to do as a business so we can achieve the goals that we've set out for ourselves. And Moses has been able to take us through all of that. That has been so amazing. I learned a lot. I know you learned a lot as well, seeing that we're interacting, talking about the weaknesses of Tesla, talking about the weaknesses of Apple, and all of those things. So I can tell that we had an amazing time. But going back to what I said earlier. And what was that? I said, for us to have fun and learn. So we've learned. It's time for us to have fun. There's something that is important, and that is communication. And we all agree that we will communicate, and we've been communicating so far. But I want to test out things to ensure that we are still together. I want to test out things to ensure that each and every one of us is still on the call, even before I go ahead to continue my story. Because again, don't forget, I actually started telling the story when Moses was having some issues, and I feel I'm gonna go ahead and just complete the story. So I want to be sure everyone is still with me. So as you know, if you're with me, I want you to send ice cream to the chat box. Okay, if you're still with me, I want you to send ice cream. Ice cream. Thank you very much, Caleb. Caleb said ice cream. Don't ask me why I decided to go with ice cream. Okay, maybe I have a sweet tooth. Maybe not. Maybe I buy ice cream a lot for myself, or maybe I buy ice cream a lot for someone else. That is not what we're interested in right now. I just want you to send ice cream to the chat box if you're still with me. Thank you very much, Show. Show says ice cream. Elvis says ice cream. I need more. I need more responses. Akuma, what about you? So Francis says ice cream. Fantastic. Okay. Adedayo, what about you? Chiwendu. Dennis says ice cream. Great. When was the last time we even had ice cream? Probably you can't even remember the last time we had ice cream. But good to know that we are following. Good to know that we are still together. So we're going to go ahead and conclude the story. We're going to have fun, and we're going to see what you need to do to delve into tech. What you need to do to dive into tech. But first of all, the story. We stopped at Caleb taking a look at tech and seeing that there are so many areas. Because let me give a recap for those of us that have forgotten. So I'm going to give a recap. This is going to be story so far or last week. For those of you, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Super Story. That was a show that was going on back then. All right. So if you're in Nigeria, all right, or maybe you were in Nigeria, you should know Super Story. Yeah, so it's a show that was going on every Sunday, or was it every Thursday back in Nigeria? Okay. So this time I'm gonna say last week. Last week. So I'm gonna give a recap of what of the story so far. So what was the story so far? We had John, right? We had this man called John, and John was doing well. He had a good family, but there was something missing. He needed to transition into what? He needed to transition into a career path that fulfilled his dreams, a career path that he had good work-life balance and, of course, made a whole lot of money. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the Benjamins, right? Yeah. So he spoke with his friend, Sam, and Sam told him that why don't you take a look at tech? Tech is a great career path. And so when John went ahead and was like, okay, yeah, I should go get into tech. He went ahead to dive into tech. And when he did this research, he found out that there are so many tech opportunities. There are so many career paths in tech. Tech is like a umbrella. Okay, and part of my drawing. All right, but I believe this is how you draw an umbrella. Okay, so is tech is like an umbrella. We call these tech, and there are so many career paths beneath tech. So many career paths underneath tech. So many. From I mentioned, the web developer to the data analyst to the data scientist to the data engineer to the blockchain developer. So many career paths under tech, under this umbrella called tech. So John was confused. What should he do? Which should he get into? Because at the end of the day, John did not want a situation where he got into a career path that was a dead end. A career path that was closing doors and not one that was opening them. Because trust me, they're actually career paths, like that. And so John came across Analytics and came across a research that we carried out to identify what paths should John actually get into. Because we understand that so many of us on the call right now, so many of us were like John. We want to move into tech, we want to transition, we want to move into that career of our dreams, but we don't know which should I get into? What should I do? Because there are a plethora, and most times you only need one. So when we set up Analytics, the way we decided that, okay, these are the programs that we are going to be offering, we went ahead to carry out research. The first thing we did is that so the first thing we did is that we went ahead to scrape job boards. You know your job boards, from LinkedIn to Indeed to Glassdoor, Total Jobs, all of those read.co.uk, all of those job boards. So we scraped those boards and then we got all of the data in what? All of the data from the job posts, we got all of that in a database. Okay, we got all of that in a database, and this is the database here. And we are a data company, of course. So we went ahead
Hello?
to, okay, all right, so I think, was that from Moses? All right then. So I'm just gonna go ahead. So we went ahead to scrape the jobs, right? And we got all of this in our database. But then we are a data company. So we went ahead to carry out analysis, that's data analysis, of course, to figure out which career paths should we really be looking at. The analysis we carried out was based on three things. And what is that? Ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high and rewarding salaries. Everything we did was based on those three things. Ease of learning being we took a look at the jobs that was easy to learn, because for most of us on the call, most of us, just like John, we are adults already, and so we don't have all the time in the world to go learn a new skill. It's not like we're kids that all we can do is learn, so probably we have the luxury of spending 10 years 15 years in learning, like you're going back to school again. No, we have responsibilities. We have spouses, we have kids, we even have a job that we are doing at the moment, to bring in money. So the career paths that we are looking out for, the career paths that we felt would be right for John and will be right for you, had to have what? Ease of learning. That is something that it's easy to learn. Not necessarily it being ABC, but something that you can go learn in 6 months to a year, and that you get everything you need. You get all of the skills you need that would help you land a job. Because at the end of the day, that is the goal. You landing a job. In addition to the first one, ease of learning, we also took a look at ease of transitioning. And what is ease of transitioning talking about? Ease of transitioning is saying, is it easy for you to transition into? I know you might be like, ease of transitioning, is it easy for you to transition into? I should say, wait up. Are you not just defining a term by using the same words and just swapping things, taking the left to the right and taking the right to the left? Yeah, maybe. But I'm sure you get what I mean. You understand what I mean by ease of transitioning. Ease of transitioning is broken down into what I love to call A and B. A being the fact that you don't need to have some sort of background for you to transition. So let's say you want to get into a tech career path, business analysis, for instance. You don't need to have studied business analysis in the university. You don't need to have studied business analysis. You don't need to have studied business analysis, as it in your for your master's or your PhD or whatever the case may be, for you to be able to transition. That is not needed. So your background does not count. And then ease of transitioning B is the fact that there are so many opportunities available that it's very, very possible for you to transition. Whereby on a job site like read.co.uk, for instance, where if you take a look at the number of jobs uploaded for, let's say, business analysis alone, per day, you have nothing less than 100 new jobs uploaded every day for business analysis. Every day. That means when you go on the site, you see jobs that were uploaded 3 seconds ago, 2 minutes ago, 5 hours ago. And what that will do for you is that you know that you're applying to jobs that are still open, and not you're applying to jobs that were, open 2 months ago, and you don't even know if the job is still open, or if someone else has, if HR just forgot to close the job post, that they've given the job to someone already. And how many jobs can you even apply to when you have more than 100 per day on just one job site? Just one job site. And this is something that we can do. All right, this is something we can do. You can everyone can test this out. Just a moment. Okay, so this is something that we can do. Everyone can test this out. I'm just trying to get my pen. Okay, yeah, there it is. Sorry about that. So something that everyone can do. If you go on read.co.uk, for instance, I said read for those of you that want to check it out. That's if you're in the UK. Okay, so this is read.co.uk. If you check out this job site and you search for business analyst roles, and then you filter for roles just uploaded today, you will see nothing less than 100 plus roles. So you can apply to so many roles, because we all know that the more you apply, of you landing that job. And of course, number 3, high and rewarding salaries. We all understand, we all know that getting the Benjamins is equally important. And when I say Benjamins, I'm talking about money. For one, I believe that you getting your wants is equally as you getting your needs. Getting your wants is as important as getting your needs. Yeah, getting your needs, yeah, you need to get clothing, shelter, and nutrition. But you should still be able to get anything you want. I feel it's as important. That's the philosophy I follow anyways. So high rewarding salary, something that yes, I can do this, and I'm going to be well to do. Something that you can see career growth, something that you can see career progression. These were the 3 things that we took a look out for when we carried out our analysis of the jobs in our database that we got from the job boards. And we came across 8 different programs. Okay, 8 different programs. And these programs are business analyst, all right, agile project management, data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, cybersecurity analyst, financial analyst, and HR analyst. These 8 programs, these 8 career paths are the career path that contains these 3 different criteria. Or there were some career paths that we saw. For example, talking about a path like let's say robotics, for instance, okay, or let's say robotics, for instance, or maybe a very popular one, let's say software engineering. Yeah, software engineering fell under different categories. It fell under ease of transition. It was easy to transition into because there are so many opportunities. Every business now is building an application or building some sort of website, so they're in high demand. And high rewarding salary, fantastic as well. But the first one being ease of learning. Yeah, software engineering did not fall under that category because there are so many languages you have to learn, especially if you want to focus on both sides, that's front end and the back end, for you to be a full stack software developer. There are so many languages you need to learn. Of course, you begin with your HTML, which is a typing script, and then you have your JavaScript. You learn your React, that's a JavaScript library, and then you move over to, let's say, the back end, like your PHP or your Django, then all of those, even Python, SQL, you also need SQL as well. So all of these languages. So it would take you at least 2 years. And when I say 2 years, I mean 2 years of constant learning. So it's not like you're taking a break from learning. 2 years of constant learning to get everything you need for you to be able to start working as a software engineer. And so it did not fall under that ease of learning. Because really, think about it. Do you have 2 years to wait? So there were so many other career paths, robotics, for instance, and so many. But the parts that fell, and then another that we had, for example, blockchain developers. Blockchain developers, yeah, high rewarding salary, ease of learning, but ease of transitioning, not so much. It's not so easy for you to transition to be a blockchain developer due to the number of jobs out there. They're not so high. Yeah, there's an increase that's coming on, but compared to these other 8 roles. So these are the 8 roles that John took a look at, the 8 roles that will be a great fit for what John is trying to accomplish, for what each and every one of you on the call, is trying to accomplish. But we'll be focusing on business analysis today because that is what this session is all about. And so, moving on, we needed some sort of external validation because all of this research was carried out by Analytics, was carried out by us. But something that we understand, something that we know, is that when you are researching for yourself, there's a tendency that you could be biased. It's not it's not intentional, but it's just natural. So we wanted external validation, people or an organization that did not have a connection with analytics, at least at this point, that has carried out similar research to what we've done to see if their results tally with ours. And that's how we came across the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum releases a report every 2 years called the Future of Job Report. The report for this year has been released. That's for 2025. It was released in January. And what this report showed, that it showed us jobs that will be created. If you have the time, I'm sure you read through the entire thing. The link to the document is on the slide. So please ensure you fill the attendance form so you get access to the slide, the recording, so you get to, so you get access to the slide, the recording, so you get to read up on all of these things. So jobs will be created and jobs will be lost. And what we've seen, what the World Economic Forum is telling us, this is not analytics projector now. This is the World Economic Forum. What they are saying is that in the next 5 years, that is by 2030, that 170 million jobs will be created. Good news. Good news. 170 million jobs will be created. But 92 million jobs will disappear. What does disappearance mean? Disappearance means that that job is no longer going to be relevant due to existing technologies or upcoming technologies. But which jobs are going to be created? What jobs are still going to be in high demand? That is how we came across this. This is on page 31 or page 32 of that report. And this shows us jobs that are in high demand from now 2025 to 2030. And the roles by the right, the jobs by the right, those the jobs by the right, those are the ones that would increase in demand. So the jobs by the left would increase in demand, and those by the right, are those that will decrease. Left increase, right decrease. This report shows us that the blue lines, all right, if you take a look at this, those blue markings, this blue stuff, okay, that's the amount at which in which job will be created. And then the jobs by the left, the pinkish or Is this pinkish or purplish? I don't know. Just digressing a bit. I got to learn that we have so many colors. Before, the only colors I knew colors like red, blue, yellow, white. And I got to learn we have so many colors. Now we have colors like Burundi. We have colors like tell me, what colors do you know? What colors do you know? And I'm not talking about the normal colors. All right, what colors do you know? Send it to the chat box. And learn that we have so many colors. Apparently, fashion designers are the kings and queens of this aspect. There's so many colors. And like I mentioned, I learned we have Burundi. I learned we had burnt orange. Like, what in the world is burnt orange? It's either it's orange or it's not orange. It's either it's burnt or it's not burnt. Who brings burnt and brings orange together and calls it burnt orange? And when I saw the color burnt orange, it looked like brown to me. Okay. So I need responses. What colors do you know? What colors do you know? Okay, what colors do you know? What special colors do you know? Francis, what colors do you know? Send it to the chat box. Dennis, Choma, Benga, Florence. What colors do you know? Special colors only. Special colors only. I know teal. Teal is pretty popular. Teal. That's Teal. Teal is pretty popular. What are the colors? We're not gonna be best friends. Is that the situation? Don't forget, we all agreed we are gonna communicate earlier. Okay, so I need responses. Or is it or was I deceived? Or was I deceived? We don't have many colors. Okay, Bashua says sky blue. I think sky blue is pretty popular. I think sky blue is pretty popular. Lilac. Okay, lilac. What does lilac look like? Is lilac pink? Okay, okay, it's even called Burgundy. I think I said Burundi. I said Burundi, meaning I didn't even pronounce it correctly. There's Burgundy. What are the colors? I need the responses. I'm just getting the response from Bashua alone. What about the rest of us? Omar, what about you? What colors do you know? What colors do you know? I need responses. Or maybe at this point we're just like, okay, you know what? Aisha is calling my name, but I'm not gonna say anything because at the end of the day, it's gonna move on. And that is the truth. I'm going to have to move on. But it seems only Bashra was willing to, was willing to engage in a conversation with me. Okay, now Francis, we have Francis. Francis says royal blue as well. So Francis says royal blue. So Benga says purple. Purple is pretty popular. I'm talking about colors that are not popular. Okay, and length we had onion purple. Now there's actually color called onion purple. But anyways, we'll come back. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this. Just think about your colors and send them to the chat box. We'll come back to this. So this particular color, what kind of color is this? Is this magenta? What this color? This is supposed to be purple. Is this purple or indigo or something? Salmon. So I can say salmon from salmon. Okay. So yeah, I was saying that the blue is representing the amount of jobs that will be created for that particular career. And then the purple is representing the amount of jobs that will be lost for that career. I'm sure we're understanding. Now, what we are concerned about, of course, there are so many over here. You can see you have the project managers, and in this case, it's actually referring to the agile project managers because many organizations are tilting towards agile now, or yes, agile towards agile now, and not just your traditional project management, which is the waterfall. So yeah, that's one of the career paths that's going to increase in demand. But what we are focused on right now is the business analysis. And so for the business analysis, what do we have? We have the management and organization analyst. Management and organization analyst is actually a role that a business analyst can function in. Because the fantastic thing about business analysis is that you can work in different aspects. The career title, it's more of just a title, and then you have different kind of business analyst, you have the process automation specialist, you have the business data special analyst, you have the management and organization analyst. As we can see, you have the procurement analyst. All of those career paths, they work with the same tools, with the same skills, and use the same knowledge as the business analyst. That's what the business analyst uses. So we can already see that business analysis is in high demand. This is not this is not me, just saying this. This is coming from the World Economic Forum. And as soon as you get access to the slides, you can click on this to download the full report. So you can read up on what the job opportunities for the next 5 years. So business analysis is very, very high in demand. Very high in demand. But moving on. Are there people that have been able to go through all of this and have been able to come out from the other end with a fantastic job? People that have been able to successfully transition? The answer to that is a resounding yes. It always seems impossible until it is done. It's something that we say a lot at Analytics. It's something that we resonate with. Because we've had participants that came to us and say things like, oh, you know what? Yes, I want to get this, but are you really sure I'll be able to get a job? Because, I really need this. I don't, please, how can you help me? And we told them, yes, it is possible. All you need to do, be a part of the program, follow all instructions that you'll be given, and you will come out the other end victorious. The 2,900 plus individuals that we've been able to help cannot all fit into the slides. But yeah, a few people. Lois, for example. Lois was an accountant and procurement specialist with zero experience in tech. And we helped Lois transition to getting a job as a project manager after completing the business analysis program with Analytics. And you can listen to Lois. All right. So Lois has a testimonial. You can click on this to listen to Lois. And then we have Ungozi. Ungozi that we help get a job as a business analyst in Huddersfield. So at the moment, Ungozi works remotely from Huddersfield in the UK. Then we have Bukola that we helped land the job as well as a people's data scientist, but that's for the data science program in Poland. And so many things we hear, oh, it's very difficult to get a job in Poland. The Poland job market is not so pleasant, it's very difficult. It's very harsh. And the truth is, we have so much success in Poland. Aside Bukola, we also have Benga. Benga got 2 different job offers in Poland. 2. And this is Poland that people say, oh, it's so difficult out here. Someone is getting 2 job offers. You can listen to them speak. And this is not just me saying things. Listen to them speak, tell you how we were able to help them transition. We have Joel, we have Vivian, we have Oluwadamilare, we have Ikmat. Ikmat, I love Ikmat's story a lot because Ikmat was a stay-at-home mom in the UK. So she stayed at home to take care of her kids. And later on, she was looking to get back into the job market. Ikmat reached out to us, and before she eventually joined the program, so she reached out to us, told us about her situation, and asked us for advice. And we advised Ikmat to be a part of the data analytics program, looking at her skills and what she's looking to achieve. And Ikmat eventually got a job as a data analyst with the NHS in the UK with full visa sponsorship. Listen to Ikmat speak. Okay? Listen to Ikmat speak. And then we have so many others, from Abigail to Tony to Ramad, Muhyiddin to Abdul Rashid, so many people to Joel that we've been able to help transition. We've even had sessions, all right? We've even had sessions where we brought those people and they came in to speak to tell you how they were able to transition. I cannot place each and every one of the testimonials on the slides, so you will do well to fill that attendance form so you get access to all of this, and so you can listen to them speak, and of course follow us on social media, listen to these people, and join our sessions, because we are going to have a session coming up soon. We'll bring in some of our alumni that have gotten jobs for them to share their story with you and tell you how they're able to transition so you can do same, so you can achieve your dreams. But who is a business analyst? That is very important. We've been talking about SWOT, SWOT, SWOT. Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. We've been talking about that for a while. That is a skill that is used by a business analyst. But who is a business analyst? It's something we have to understand. Because if you are already interested in becoming a business analyst and you don't know what a business analyst does or who a business analyst is, there is a problem. Okay? So, who is a business analyst? A business analyst is a professional that analyzes a company's business process, systems, and stakeholders to identify improvements and solutions to business challenges. Easy, simple, and sweet. A business analyst is there to take your business from point A to point B. A business analyst is there to bridge the gap between where your business is to and where it wants to be. A business analyst takes a look at your entire business processes and identify areas that can be improved upon in order to ensure that things are more efficient and to ensure that things are more effective. So the company makes more money. So the company functions properly. A business analyst is a superstar. And I'm sure you want to be a star as well. But looking at an example, okay, an example of what a business analyst would do. Let's say you saw handbags, and this is an example I really love to use, okay? Because even many of us, we even carry out some business analysis in our day-to-day lives as entrepreneurs. So let's say you sell handbags and your business is booming. People order handbags from you and you get them delivered. And at the moment, the way you currently sell is that customers, first of all, they need to call. Okay, customers, first of all, they need to call. They order by calling. So they call and say, hello, is this and is it hello, is this Pretty Ants? Pretty Ants, please, I need, that's the name of your brand. So we call the name of the brand Pretty Ants. Okay, I have no idea why I came up with this name. I really hope there's no brand called Pretty Hands, but let's just Pretty Hands. So you call the brand and say, hello, is this Pretty Hands? Please, I would like to make an order. I want to know, do you have Chanel? It's called Chanel, right? Or did I not get the pronunciation correctly? Chanel. It's Chanel. The ladies in the house, you guys know Chanel, right? It's okay. So please, do you have Chanel? Do you have what's the bag? Gucci. All right. So Chanel is the most popular one because I buy Chanel a lot. Okay, so Chanel is the most popular one. So yeah, so please, do you have this bag? Do you have this Chanel bag that the one you just came out yesterday or 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago? And you make the order. The customer makes the order. And then what happens? There now has to be a staff that manually writes down the order. After the staff manually writes down the order, then the staff scans through a notebook to check if the item is available. That's already been a bit manual. After that, the staff prints the order details. And then, after printing the order detail, the staff has to go to the store to check if the item is available. After that, the staff has to pick up the item. After that, the staff has to prepare the shipping labels. And what are shipping labels? That's what will contain the customer's address, the customer's phone number, just to ensure delivery is fast and safe. And then the staff calls the courier to pick up the item, and then the courier picks up the item and drops it off with the customer. This takes a whopping 3 days to this takes a whopping 3 days for delivery. 3 days. So a business analyst will take a look at all of this and say, something is not right. Because as a business that depends on customers making orders, as a business that depends on making deliveries, we really cannot afford we really cannot afford to deliver our items in 3 days, because we have brands that deliver their items in just 1 day. For example, Amazon does same-day delivery, and no customer would wait for 3 days for an item when they can get it in 1 day. So why don't we see how we can optimize all of this and to make it better? And that's the future state. So the business analyst would say, okay, all right. Yeah. This is making sense. And we go ahead to say, okay, why don't we have the customer order online? Instead of the customer having to make a phone call, why don't we have a situation where there's this order management system online or website that they can go to order. So the customer orders online, and after the customer orders online, the order management system that would automatically receive the order and automatically update the inventory. What this will do is that it will cancel the need for checking off a notebook, because the order management already knows if the item is still in stock or not. And then the system also automatically generates the order details. And while doing this, it generates the shipping labels, sends staff to pick up the item, auto schedules pick up with the courier. All of this is occurring at the same time. And then the courier comes up to pick up the item and drops it off with the customer. And this takes 5 hours. This takes 5 hours. This has been optimized. So the business working with this would ensure that that they remain competitive, they remain in the market, and our customers are still coming to them. This is not just going to be done by just saying things. This would need to be mapped out. That's what we call process mapping, using tools such as your Draw.io, your Lucid chat. So this is not you just thinking things. You are also going to need to document the entire process, how everything will go from point A to point Z. So that's an example of what a business analyst would do. A business analyst also is that middleman between the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. The business analyst is that person that would communicate all of the dreams, the visions, the ideas of the non-technical stakeholders. That's talking about the CEOs, the CFOs, the COOs, the CTOs, the CDO, the CAO, all of the Cs. Maybe the CFR even. Okay, and then we'll take all of this information and pass it across to the technical stakeholder. The technical stakeholder in this case being the developer, the data analyst, the UI UX designer, the person in charge of building the actual product. All of these ideas will be passed across in what we term acceptance criteria. So the user stories will be converted to acceptance criteria for the developer to know, okay, this is what the application needs to look like. This is what needs to be in the application. As a business analyst, your key learning areas, things you need to know, things you need to learn to be a business analyst. The first is Excel, Power BI, and SQL. And why is that? Because many organizations right now, recruiters, they are searching for business analysts that have a flavor of data analytics. Yeah, I know I use flavor, and I said ice cream earlier. So maybe I'm a foodie. Maybe. We really can't tell. But yeah, follow me. The recruiters nowadays, they're searching for for business analysts that have a flavor of data analytics, just a taste of data analytics. You don't really have to be a data analyst, but I want you to have the aroma of data analytics. I want you to have that touch of data analytics. I want to okay, I think I should end the analogy there. Okay, but yeah, you get what I mean. So that is the reason why you learn your Excel, your Power BI, and your SQL. That's your SQL. Now, you don't need to have knowledge of all of these tools as in-depth as what the data analyst would have, but just to have an idea of them so you can what? So the business analyst can go ahead to at least analyze data and make decisions. So those tools, Excel, SQL, and Power BI, needed. And then we move over to process mapping, your project initiation planning, where your RACI matrix is now involved. That's your responsible, accountable, your responsible, your accountable, your what's the C now? Okay, that's escaping me. And then your I is informed. Okay, so I've forgotten C. Uh, C's consult, okay? C's consult, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's the RACI matrix. So you get to learn all of that as well. Consulted. Oh, thank you very much, Samuel. Thank you. Yeah, consult. Said consult. The consulted, right? So you're responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. That's the RACI matrix. You get to learn all of that in your project initiation planning, your BROD. And what is your BROD? Your business requirement document, how you can come up with that and present that to organizations. Your SRS, that's your software requirements what specification. When you are working with the SDLC, which is the software development lifecycle, you get to learn how to come up with your PROD, which is your product requirements document as well for when you are building a new product. You get to learn how you can work with your Lucid chart and your Draw.io for your what? For your process mapping, and of course your Microsoft Visio as well. It's still a tool that can be used for process mapping, for building your flow chart, all of those things. Your Jira, your Confluence, your Trello for your Agile and Scrum for projects. Because as a business analyst, you will be working in Scrum teams. So you need to know how to work with Jira for project management. And then your Azure DevOps for what? For your agile for your agile as well. So Azure DevOps is also used in agile. So you get to learn how to work with that as well. And of course, the ChatGPT for business analysis. Because everyone knows we're in the world of AI. Everything has AI now. Everything has AI. Every single thing, there's AI. Every application has AI. Zoom, the video conferencing platform we are currently on, now has AI. I tried logging in today and I saw they were advertising AI. Everything has AI now. We even have our own AI. You know, there's Microsoft. Microsoft has what? Microsoft has Copilot. Okay, Microsoft has Copilot. Then we have Google. Google has Gemini, I believe. Gemini. Google has Gemini. So we have Microsoft. Microsoft has Copilot, and then Google has Gemini. Then we have X has Grok. Then WhatsApp, Facebook, just say Meta, has Meta AI. CapCut has its own AI. I've just got this AI. Everything has AI. Tenalytics has Olucor as well. All right, which you get access to as soon as you are onboarded on the Analytics LMS. All right, so every platform has AI embedded because you need to know how to use AI. If you don't know how to use AI, I'm sorry, you're backwards. Because the situation right now is that business analysts that can use AI will be replacing those that cannot use AI. AI is not replacing business analysts. No. But rather, business analysts that can use AI, will be replacing those that cannot use AI. So you need to learn how you can leverage AI to increase your efficiency and your functionality as a business analyst. Those are the things you need to learn. But what about the learning timeline? What is it like? For the learning timeline, classes, you have classes on Saturdays, and it doesn't matter your location. If maybe you're in the UK, you're in Europe, that's in Africa, or maybe you're in Canada, the US, that's North American region, there is a class for you. So if you're in the UK, class is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. UK time. That's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. UTC. Then if you're in Africa, that's 11 to 2 p.m. West African time. And then if you're in North America, you're in Canada, you're in the US, that's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. MST on Saturday, or 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. So there's a class for you. And at Analytics, we use a dual learning approach. Exactly, Caleb. Yes, you will be learning how to use AI as well. It's very, very important in the current job market. Yes, you will learn how to use AI. It is part of the curriculum. Yes, AI for business analysis. So at Analytics, we use a dual learning approach. And what do I mean by dual learning approach? You have the live classes. So you have the live classes where you go, you are in the class, you're speaking with the facilitator, just like the conversation we're having right now. You are asking questions, you're working on case study, you're getting what I love to call experiential learning. You're getting all of these things. All right. And then we have the watch me do it videos on the Analytics LMS, which you get to watch that would introduce you to concepts you will be learning in the next class. So it doesn't matter the kind of person you are. It doesn't matter if you're the person that would like to go through a video multiple times, go back over and over and over again, or if you're the kind of person that would prefer a human touch, that would prefer to have an interaction with someone, there's no problem. You are good to go, because we have something for each and every one of you. So that's the learning time. But what about the timeline? For the learning timeline, we have two plans. We have two options. Option number one being the 8-month plan. The 8-month plan is where you get to learn for 6 months. So you have 6 whole months of pure, sweet, unadulterated learning. And then you get to intern for 2 months. So 2 months internship. You learn for 6 months, and then you intern for 2 months. And then we have the second plan. The second plan being the 12-month plan, where you get to learn for 6 months, you learn for 6 months, and then you have another 6 months internship. So how do you know the plan to go with? Should you go with plan A or should you go with plan B? It all depends on the level of experience you're searching for. Because we understand that for you to get a job, you need the experience. And fortunately, there are so many ways you can get experience. You don't only get experience by working in the job. You get experience by internship. And of course, you also get experience by working on projects, on industry relevant projects. So let's say you want to get more experience. Then you you're coming from a place of experience and not from a place of learning. You get more experience under your belt for when you're applying to jobs. Then the 12 months program is something you should take a look out for, because you have more time to for your internship. And then for the 8 months program, so let's say maybe you already have some knowledge, of the course, or you already have some experience and you just want to learn, upskill so you can transition, then the 8 months program is for you. All right. So both 6 months of learning, the 8-month program, you have a 2 months internship, and a 12 months program, you have a 6 months internship. So where would you be having where would the internship be? The learning will be with Analytics, so you get to learn with Analytics, and then for the internship, you get to intern with Amdari. So you will be interning with an organization called Amdari. So that's fantastic, because now you have two places that you can come from when you're talking about your work experience or your learning experience. So you'll be interning with Amdari and you'll be learning with Analytics. So Amdari is a fantastic organization, a big brand in Canada. And so they will be handling the your internship, placing you in, on different teams in different organizations, just ensuring you get that relevant experience to help you in landing that job. Different career paths you can get into as a business analyst, your process automation analyst, your business architect, your process improvement analyst, so many opportunities, requirements engineer, so many. Okay. And of course, you have the portfolio. You also will not need to need to know how to come up with a portfolio, how to build your portfolio, because when you're looking to get the job in tech, something that is very, very important is having a portfolio. You need a portfolio. Very, very important. So you need to know how to build a portfolio that would house all of your important projects, your very best self, that will prove to recruiters that, yeah, this person can actually do the job. So the link to your portfolio is added to your CV. So when they're taking a look at your CV, all they need to do is to click on that link. It will take them to a website where all of your accomplishments and everything you've done is visible, so they can take a look at your work. For you to get a job, though, it's not just about learning the skills. For you to get a job, you need to complete the job equation. And what am I talking about here? I'm talking about the T plus E. T plus E will get you the job. The reason why we are so much successful is that we understand this equation. We know that this equation is very, very important for you to succeed in the market. What is T? Technical skills. And what is E? Employability skills. So your technical skills plus your employability skills is what will get you the job. The technical skills being you understanding business analysis, you having the skills of a business analyst. And of course, you will get all of that. That is already sure. As long as you're a part of the program, you know you're going to get all of that. That is absolutely sure. But then, that is not enough to get you the job. You need the other 50%, which is the employability skills. This is what will place you rightly in the job market. This is what would ensure that recruiters see you, and not just see you, that they believe you, that you can actually do the job. And that is why, in addition to everything you'll be getting, you'd also have your CV reviewed and revamped. So you'd have your CV reviewed and revamped because the CV is the gateway to everything that you are going to do. That's the first point of contact in you getting a job. Your CV needs to be ATS worthy. You need to go ahead and apply to jobs with your CV, and recruiters and to apply to jobs with your CV, and that CV is supposed to get you interviews. There's something that many of us don't understand. And what is that? A CV is a paper representation of yourself. You've not spoken. The recruiter has not seen you. So there's a way your CV needs to look. There's something that has to be in your CV that would ensure you get the job. This is not a situation where maybe the recruiter has spoken with you and they don't like the way you sound, or you're not able to answer certain questions. No, it's just a piece of paper. In this case, a digital paper. There's a way that paper needs to be structured that would ensure it passes through the ATS, number one. There's something that paper needs to contain that would ensure the recruiter goes ahead to call you for an interview, number two. There's a way that CV needs to look that would ensure that the CV has a high conversion rate. A couple of weeks ago, we had a session where we brought in some participants, some alumni that have been able to get jobs. We brought in Gad, and Gad got a job as a data engineer with the NHS in the UK. All right, and he was very happy because he just completed schooling. He just completed his masters, and he was already thinking of how to get a new visa and all of that. So we helped him get that job as a data engineer with the NHS, and of course we know that the NHS offers sponsorship. So he got a job as a data engineer, and he was so happy. There was something God said. God said that whenever he applied to jobs, if he applied to 6 jobs, he got 3 different interviews. A whooping 50% conversion rate. And many of us, we've applied to 500 jobs, we've not even gotten a single interview. will help you out with your CV. Then you have the LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn is a platform where recruiters are searching for valuable candidates, people that can actually do the work. LinkedIn is now so important in recruitment that you are advised to add in your LinkedIn profile to your what? To your CV when you're applying to jobs. Because recruiters would want to go onto your LinkedIn to see if you are really who you say you are. That is something that happens. So we'll show you how you can have a great LinkedIn profile. How your LinkedIn can attract recruiters and not repel them. And then navigating the job market. Some of us, we just moved to the UK, or we just moved to Canada, or we just moved to the US, or maybe we just moved to Australia. And so we don't really understand the climb. We really don't understand how to succeed. We really don't understand the job market. Navigating the job market would house professionals, we bring in recruiters, tech recruiters in each and every one of these countries that will come speak to you on what they look out for in candidates. What is in the CV that attracts them to a CV? What are the green flags that, oh, once they see this on the CV, they're going ahead to schedule an interview? Because something that many of us don't realize is that a recruiter takes a look at your CV for a maximum of 6 seconds. 6 seconds. So there are certain things they're looking at for. What are those things? That is what this will provide you. Then you have interview preparation. You've gotten the job, so you've gotten an interview, but we don't just end there. You can go ahead to schedule a one-on-one interview preparation with a professional, and the professional will take you through everything that you need to know to scale through the interview, from how you can answer questions about yourself using the SEAT approach, or how you can talk about your experience using the STAR approach, to how you can answer technical interview questions to ensure that you are seen as the right individual for the job. Because our interest is not just you getting an interview. Our interest is you getting a job. You've gotten a job. You need a reference letter. You can reach out to us and we'll provide you with a valid reference letter. Because every recruiter would want to provide some sort of reference to know if you are really who you say you are. So you can reach out to us and provide you with the reference, or you can reach out to Dari. That's the fantastic thing about being in our programs, because you can get a reference from either Dari, or you can get a reference from Tenalytics. Doesn't get better than that. Because even some recruiters nowadays, they might say, oh, can I get a reference from 2 different past employers? On the job support, you've gotten the job. You've been given a task that is not so clear. You can reach out to us even after you are done with the program, and we'll guide you on what you need to do, on how you can go about on how you can go about that task to ensure that you succeed. So you go back to work and you do amazingly well. Then, of course, weekly mentorship sessions, where week in, week out, you are mentored. You are mentored by industry leaders, people that have succeeded where you're looking to succeed, people that will take you through everything that they've done that help them to succeed. So you get to do those things. So you succeed as well. Because mentorship is very, very important. Having a mentor makes everything helps you achieve your goals x5 faster. That's 5 times faster. And of course, Upwork optimization. You are interested in Upwork, so you want to freelance. Okay, you want to freelance. You want to decide your own work hours. The Upwork session will show you how you can succeed on Upwork. Upwork uses a currency system called Connect, so it gets to show you how you can the right way for you to bid for jobs, because of course when you apply, so for you to apply to jobs on Upwork, you pay. So you pay real money to apply. So you pay, it's not just like any job board, you pay money to apply to a job, right? So you use the Connect, and the Connect, the last time I checked, I think 10 connects was $1.50, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so you get to see how you can navigate through all of that, how you can write great proposals to ensure that clients view your proposals and also interview you, and that you eventually get that gig. So all of this, in addition to the technical skills, would ensure that you land that job. And there are so many success stories, so many people that we've been able to help transition. Like I said, all right, so many people to Biola, to Olugbemi, to Busola that would help get a job as a performance analyst in Desjardins, Canada, to Fola that would help get a job with the government of British Columbia in Canada, to Benem that got a job as an HR analyst in the US, to Abdul that got a job as a data analyst in the UK. So many people. Sonia that got a job as an HR analyst in the UK. I could spend all day here. I could spend all day here. And remember I talked about the analytics LMS. This is what it looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. As soon as you're a part of the program, you would be onboarded on Analytics LMS, where and there are so many features. Of course, you have Oluko, so you have Oluko in here, and Oluko is a fantastic the guy. Oluko is my AI colleague. Oluko has been built in there to assist you in any way possible. So Oluko can do amazing things. And Oluka can go ahead to, maybe you're working on something and you have a code based issue. So let's say you're writing code. So I'm just gonna give Oluka. So Oluka is asking for my name. Okay, so this Oluka, I'm saying my name is Oluka, which stands for teacher. I'm your personal AI trainer designed by Analytics. And which of the categories below best suits your current concerns? So let's say I'm having code-based issues. So maybe I just wrote a code because I'm watching videos. All right. So let's say I'm in the data engineering course, for instance. So I'm just gonna click on that. Okay, I'll come back there. So let's say I'm watching videos. So I have so many videos. I have videos on Python and on Python, different operators. So I get to watch the video. So this is on variable assignment. So um okay, so this is Efemina. Efemina is the co-founder of Analytics, a fantastic professional, taking you through variables in Python. So this for the data engineering program. I should have gone to business analysis since we are actually focused on business analysis today. But yeah, so this is it. And so let's say you are following Efemina, you are practicing alongside what is doing, you're coding alongside, and then you have a problem. You can easily just come over to Alucor and say, okay, you know what? I have a code-based issue. All right. So I have a code-based issue. And then Oluko is asking me, okay, so what is getting started in coding using SQL and Python or writing clean codes, formulas in Excel, Power BI, Tableau can be very challenging. And that is why I'm here to help. Please drop your concerns below. So I can go ahead to type. Let's say I'm having issues. So I don't think we have enough time. We would have tested all of this out. So I can say I'm having issues on Python, and then I'll paste my Python code. All right. I paste my Python code on I paste my Python code. So let's just test this out quickly. So let's say I am having issues with Python. Okay, so I'm having issues with Python. Let's see what Olukot say. So I'll be happy to help you with your Python issue. Please provide me with more details about the problem you are facing, including any error messages or code snippets you are struggling with. All right. So from this, I can go ahead to, so I have a follow-up question. All right. So I go ahead to insert the code. All right. I'll go ahead to insert the code. So this was Oracle asking me for the code. I go ahead to insert the code, the issue I'm having, and then Oracle takes a look at that and also answers my question. And the fantastic thing is Oracle is integrated with the curriculum at Analytics. All right, so it understands the issues we will be having because it's incorporated with the curriculum. Okay, so that is so that is the joy of everything. And this is the same situation for every other program, from business analysis to data analytics, all of the programs that we offer. Okay, so taking a look at business analysis quickly, let's see. So over here we have so many programs. So once you register, a course will be assigned to you. Just give me a moment. Okay, so over here I have business analysis. So business analysis, there are different areas. So I have my videos as well. Of course, I begin with my Excel. Don't forget Excel, Power BI, and SQL, because recruiters want you to have a flavor of data analytics. I said this earlier, right? And then I move over to my introduction to business analysis, presentation planning, all of those things. Okay, so this is loading. So as soon as it's done, you get to see the videos. So all I just give me a moment. Okay. Yeah, so I have all of my videos in here that I can watch and I can practice alongside the facilitator. So business analysis profile, introduction to business analysis, the competencies of a business analyst, all of those things. So I think my bandwidth is a bit low, hence the reason why it's taking some time to load up. Okay, so let's see again. Okay, that's why it's taking some time to load up. Apologies about that. But yeah, so this is how you learn. So you learn with the videos and you also have the live classes. So like I said, it's a dual learning approach. You're watching the videos, you also have the live classes where you are with the facilitator. The facilitator is taking you through everything that you need to know. And there are so many features in the Analytics LMS. Okay, so many features. You have the badges. All right, you have the badges where for every assessment you take, for every assessment you complete, you get to earn a badge. Over here, you can see I have the Python badge because I took a Python assessment. I earn a badge, and this badge I can share on social media. I can easily share on social media so people know that this is what I can do, because you are advised to build in public so that people can tell that, okay, you are really competent in this area, and so you start getting opportunities. So you have your stats, you also have an assessment that you take after the end of every video, and so many more opportunities. So many things, so many features in the Analytics LMS that you stand to gain. Okay, that you stand to gain. So yeah, our next cohort starts on the 8th of March. 8th of March. And how can you be a part of this? How can you be a part of this cohort? It's easy. All you need to do is register. And at the moment, we have 8 plans, 2 plans, like I said, the 8 months plan and the 12 months plan. For the 8 months plan, the amount is $900, $900, and for the 12 months plan is $1,200. For the 8 months plan, at the moment though, we are currently running a discount, a 20% discount for the first 20 persons to register. And so what you get to pay $750 instead, and you can break that down into multiple installments, paying $150 every month for 5 months. Or for the 12 months program, you get to pay $1,000 instead if you qualify for the discount, and then you can break it down into multiple installments, paying $125 per month for 8 months. So my colleague has been sending, or my colleague will send the link for you to make payment to the chat box. Okay, so that the link will be sent, and once you click on that link, it will bring you over to the Analytics Enrolment Center. To bring you over to the Analytics Enrolment Center where you can make payments, there are 2 ways you can make payments. You can either register using the Analytics Enrolment Center, or you can register using our website. So once you click on that link, it will bring you over to the Enrolment Center, and all you need to do, you can first of all, you can chat with us. Maybe you're having an issue with payments. You can just send us a message and we'll respond just like that. And you can get access to all our program brochures. So maybe you're interested in other programs like cybersecurity and the rest. So you can click on these and get to learn about what you'll be getting on all other programs. You see the discount is still running. That's the reason why this is still here. And yeah, once you scroll down, you get to see all of the programs. So let's say you want to register for business analysis, you want to register for the 8 months plan. So you select BA 12, you select BA 8 months, and that will bring you over to this. Okay, yeah, that'll bring you over here. And you can see we have 14 seats available. 14 seats, that's 14 discounted slots. So if you go ahead and make payments now, you still have a discount slot left for you. Okay, so you can go ahead to make payment. And then one other thing, if you decide that you want to make a one-time payment, and you qualify for the discount, instead of paying $750, okay, so you qualify for the discount, right? The original amount is $900. So $900 is the original amount. Okay, let's say you qualify for the discount. Qualifying for the discount, you get to pay $750 instead. Now you decide, okay, you know what? I want to make one-time payment. I don't want to break this down into multiple installments. You get an extra $50 off, and you get to pay $700 instead. But if you want to break that down into installments, which is also fantastic as well. So you can break that down into multiple installments. So you can break that down into 2 installments. All right. So if you also decide you want to make 2 monthly installments, you get to pay $700 also. So the $700 discounts are for those that want to make 2 monthly installments. So you want to make 2 monthly installments, or you want to make a one-time payment. So you get that extra $50 off. And then you can, if you decide, okay, you know what, I want to break this down into multiple installments, so you can pay in 2 installments of $250 each month, or $887.50 for 4 months, or $850 for 5 months. So you get to select the program, you get to select the tranche that you want to go with. Give me a moment, trying to. Okay, so you get to select the tranche that you are going with. So let's say you want to go with the $850 for 5 months. So you can select that, and you click on secure your seats. So by clicking on secure your seats, you can see the payment timeline. So once you pay $850 today, the next time you pay will be on the 26th of March, April 26th, May 26th, and then June 26th. So once you do that, you click on proceed to pay. It will ask you for your details, your payment details. You insert all of that, and then you make payment. As soon as you do that, an email will be sent to you with your receipt and the link asking you to click on that link to complete your registration. You can either click on that link, or you can come over here to click on upload your receipt. So you can, this is the same link. So once you click on that link, it opens up a form that you fill, you upload your receipt, and then you get, it opens up a form you fill, you upload your receipt, and then you get everything you need. You upload your receipts, you fill in the form, you click on submit, right? And you get a confirmation email from us that contains everything you need to be a part of the program. And I'm talking about your welcome kit. So it will contain how you can be a part of the LMS, onboarding to the LMS, the classroom, the community, all of those things, so that you are a part of the program. So that's how you get to register. Again, don't forget, discount is only for the first 20 people to register. So you want to hop on that train as quickly as possible. Choo, choo, says the train. All right, you want to get in there so you are not late. All right, so we've been able to help so many people transition to date, and you want to be a part of this. This is just a few places where our participants have walked in. And yeah, so many people will be able to help. So many testimonials, so many testimonials, so many testimonials. And I'm sure you also want to be a part of these as well. Any question? Do you have a question? Do I have a question? I don't think I can see any question in the chat box. If you have a question for me, maybe you can use the raise hand icon. I think I could take a question in a minute or two. But again, you can also go ahead to book a clarity session as how we can help you get a job. It's a session where you can get to speak with professionals and you ask any and every question that you might have. The way you can go ahead to book that session, just ensure you're in the community and watch out for the link, or you can reach out to any of the admins, and the link for you to book a session will be provided. So you book a session, just a clarity session where all of your questions are answered. All right, so I think I have some questions on the chat box. So Undubisi is asking, I have registered for financial analytics, but from certain explanations here, I want to change to data analytics. How do I go about it? Okay, that's fine. So if you want to change to data analytics, all you need to do on the BC is all you need to do is just send a mail to Ibrahim at analytics.io. All right, so send a mail to Ibrahim at analytics.io. Okay, so send a mail, but also ensure you're a part of the clarity session, just for you to get more clarity on why, on if you really should move to data analytics. Okay, because I understand you might feel data analytics is general and financial analytics is only finance. That is really not the case most times. This is not a financial analytics session, so I'm not going to have the time to have a deep dive into all of that. Okay, but yeah, you can send Ibrahim at analytics.io a mail about your request, but please also ensure you are a part of the clarity session so you get all of your questions answered and you ask the professionals if you are making the right choice, so you are guided on what you need to do. Victor is asking, can you pay with Naira? Yes, Victor, you can pay with Naira. So all you need to do, once you click on that link and you select the program, MainStack would automatically take note of the currency of your local currency, right? It's going to automatically take note of the currency of your location. So it's going, if you're in Nigeria, it will be in Naira, and then you see the Naira equivalent. So you don't need to have a Naira or to have a dollar card or a pounds card for you to make payments. You can pay in Naira. Okay, the same process. As soon as you click on that link, you select business analysis. It will be converted to Naira for you. Okay. I have Moose says I have already registered but waiting on any other information of the course. Okay, great. So if you've registered Moose, fantastic, and I'm sure you've uploaded your receipts as well. If you've not uploaded your receipts, please ensure you do that and just hold up, because you will get a link. You will get the welcome kit. Your welcome kit will be sent to you very, very soon. So just hold up. You'll get your welcome kit, so you'll see how you can be a part of the community, the program, and every other thing. So Caleb's asking, I have business manager experience. Can it help me as data analyst, or is it better I do 8 months? So yeah, 8 months is the least program where you get to learn for 6 months and you have a 2 months internship. So if you're looking to transition from business management into data analytics, of course, you would have to register, because though the skills required in both areas are really not the same. But if you're talking about experience wise, yes, would help you out in terms of your experience and how you can convert your past experience into a valuable experience for you to be able to transition into the new area that you're looking to transition into. All right. So okay, you have business analysis experience, but you want to transition into data analytics. Okay, yeah. So yes, as a business analyst, data analytics, they focus more on data. Business analysts focus more on the business itself. Yes, a business analyst has some idea of data, but not as much as the data analyst. So if you're looking to double down on data analytics, that's what you're looking to, that's what you want to be your major specialty, then yes, you'd have to be a part of the data analytics program, because there are two different career paths. The business analysis is moving this way, and the data analytics is moving this way. They are two different things entirely. They are not the same. I think that Francis asking, how do I get clarity to decide? Okay, so Francis, all you need to do, just send a message. I'm pretty sure you are in the tech community. Francis, I believe you're in the community. So a link will be sent to the community for you to book a session, or send a message to any of the admins in the community, and you'll be provided with the link to go book a session. So this is where we're going to be ending today. I know for some of us that still have other questions, you can go ahead to just book a clarity session, and all of your questions will be answered. All right. So I can see Moose Jackson, can a business analyst work as a process engineer? Yes, a business analyst can work as a process automation specialist. Okay, I believe that's also a synonym for a process engineer. So yes, a business analyst can function in that regard. It's one of the career paths in business analysis. So the clarity session is free. There's no cost. Okay, it's totally free. You're not paying for anything. All right. So Chinon, so you're not paying for anything. It's totally free. All right, totally free. Okay, so you're not paying for anything. Yeah. So I hope we enjoyed ourselves today. I want to know those that are still with me on the call. If you know you're still with me on the call, send ice cream to the chat box. I want to know those still with me on the call. Okay? If you know you're still with me, send ice cream to the chat box. So Francis, yes, all programs are same cost. All the programs same cost. Okay, thank you. So Casey says shawarma instead. All right then. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for joining the session. I had an amazing time, and I'm sure you had an amazing time as well. Please ensure you register as quickly as possible because we tell kids not to procrastinate, and we usually use the term, or rather, we use the poem, which says, "Quick, quick," says the clock. Whatever you have to do, ensure you do quick. Click on that link and register, and I'll see you some other time. Cheers, everyone.